What's going on, everybody? This is Lincoln Kenobi here, and today we have an article that it's titled "Activist Organization That Encourage Game Developers to Denounce Gamers is Now Begging for 80 grand in order to remain open." So, in other words, after all the backlash that they have tried giving us gamers, and it's backfired on them now, they are asking for help because they're worried that their company may get shut down. Well, I got news for you, darling. You're fucked. So let's get on to business. All right. The activist organization takes this that has received significant funding from the United States government is now begging its followers to give them 80,000 in order to keep its store open. The organization was brought into the public eye when it posted a blog post back in March encouraging game developers to denounce gamers for defending themselves from Sweet Baby Inc. The organization started, if you're reading this, you've probably been hearing about what's now being called Gamergate 2. It's the latest targeted harassment campaign within the game industry, and it's aimed at Sweet Baby Inc., a Montreal-based narrative development studio. As previously covered, this is a lie. The initial harassment campaign was led by Sweet Baby Inc. and its employees Chris Kindred and Maya Kramer against Brazilian gamer Cabrutus Rambo for creating a stream curator this list documenting the games that Sweet Baby Inc. worked on. These Sweet Baby Inc. employees could not tolerate the stream curator list and attempted to get Cabrutus Rambo canceled and even tried to get Valve, Steam's parent company, to effectively steal his game library. Kindred posted on X, the stream curator harassment group Sweet Baby Inc. detected his lead by this person, Cabrutus Rambo. Here's them trying to be slick so they don't get reported, even with the discriminatory language filed off. The group itself still fails the code of conduct. Next, Kinder wrote, anyway, report this blank out of this group. Finally, Kinder concluded, and report the creator since he loves his account so much. Nevertheless, despite pushing an easily refuted lie, the organization then demanded developers denounce gamers opposed to Sweet Baby Inc. and their goals of injecting the objectively evil ideology of wokeness into video games. The organization wrote, you may be inclined to be quiet or cautious, but that's actually not helpful. As noted in our resource, a major lesson learned from Gamergate was the importance of taking a loud public stance. Take this continued. At the time, many studios were hesitant to address the hate and abuse from Gamergate in a meaningful way. The reason varied, but usually this hesitation was born out of fear of losing profit or concern that taking a stance would attract the attention of the Gamergate mob. It then asserted, in other words, failure to clearly and unequivocally denounce Gamergate and the harassment and abuse done in the name created a space for that hate and abuse to flourish, spread, and become normalized. Hate, harassment, and toxic behavior have no place in games. By taking direct targeted action in a timely manner, we can mitigate further harm to talented, dedicated folks in games and help prevent additional resources to these harmful events, the post concluded. Okay. Less than 6 months after this post, the organization's research director, Rachel Court, has resigned from her position as reported by Ars Technicians Ashley Bellinger. Court also funded the organization after encountering a 2019 nationally representative survey from ADL. It found that nearly 1 in 4 respondents were exposed to extreme white supremacist ideology in online games. She wrote on X, I'm getting a lot of queries about this post meeting. I'm leaving games. I'm not leaving games. I'm just resigned from my former position. To no one's surprise, Court admitted in a Game UX 2022 presentation, which was sponsored by Bungie, that the original polling she encountered that inspired her to start the organization was complete bogus. And she said, in 2019, the Anti-Defamation League reported that nearly 1 in 4 was 23% of the game players are exposed to white supremacist ideology in the game. She continued, and honestly, somebody asked me earlier how I got into this work because it seems like a very nice area, but it was this report, and then I saw that I thought that number is so high, it can't be that high, it can possibly be that high. And I called Daniel Kelly, who led this research, and he was like, no, that's the number. And I was like, okay, we have to do something about that. That's terrifying. In 2021, they did another report looking at the same thing, and they found the number was closer to 1 in 10. But it's unclear whether it's actually a change in the landscape or just difference in sampling as it is with research, sometimes she admitted. Not only did Cowart resign from her position, but the entire organization is now begging for $80,000 in order to keep it afloat. In a post to the company's website, at the end of August, Dr. Rafael Bocamazzo, the organization's clinical director, wrote, "This might be the most bittersweet post I ever written in my tenure with Take. You may have noticed our plea for financial support earlier this year, and as hard as we've worked to make up that gap, we still need significant help. Without your support, Take This and all of our impactful programs will cease to exist." After listing out what he views the organization's accomplishment, he stated, "If we don't raise $80,000 by the end of September, all of this will disappear." The company received a split of nearly $700,000 in grant money from the Department of Homeland Security through its Targeted Violence and Terrorism Prevent Grant Program. The Department of Homeland Security shared that in 2022, over the past decade, video games have increasingly become focal points of social activity and identify creation for adolescents and young adults. Relationships made and fostered with game ecosystems routinely cross over into the real world and are impactful parts of local communities. It added, correspondingly, extremists have used video games and targeted video games communities for activists ranging from propaganda creation to terrorist mobilization and training. Game developers in general, from small independent studios to billion-dollar multinational corporations, have lagged in awareness of how extremists may attempt to exploit their games and how their communities can be targeted for radicalization. This joint projection from the Center of the Terrorism, Extremism, and Counterterrorism, Take This, and logically seeks to develop a shared framework for understanding the extremism in games. This includes the development of a set of best practices and centralized resources for monitoring and evaluation of extremists' activities, as well as the series of training workshops for monitoring, detection, and prevention of extremists' exploitation in gaming spaces for community managers, multiplayer designers, lore developers, mechanics designers, and trust and safety professionals, it concluded. Well. They try to weaponize this company. To go after gamers like us. It's failed. Now that the Department of Homeland Security is refusing to help them, and they're asking for our help, asking for people's help to get them the $80,000 they need. So, with everything they have done, what they have tried to do to us, bro, it ain't gonna work and it ain't gonna happen. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you guys think. So if you like this video, hit the like button, share this video, post a comment below, let me know what your thoughts about this. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. Alright guys, you guys have a good night. Bye for now.